Okay everybody, welcome back. So last time we opened up and reviewed this figure of Momohime from the game Oboro Muramasa, or Muramasa the Demon Blade for the Wii and the PS Vita. Today we're going to take a look at this one, which is Kongiku, who is another character in the game. So this is one of the main playable characters here, Momohime. But she is at kind of the save points. She's not a playable character, but she's at the save points, just kind of talks to the main character as the game progresses and things like that. So anyways, let's take a look at the box here and then we'll open her up. So this box is even bigger. Like her box was pretty big, even though the character is, I don't know, hand size. She's a bit taller. She's got a lot going on with her tail and everything. So the box is pretty massive. But let's just take a look at it from the outside. Much like Momohime had kind of sakura cherry blossoms printed on her plastic window, here Kongiku has some maple leaves floating along, which is nice as it comes up of here. Here we've got a bit of information, same as the other one. It's 1/8 scale and the sculptor's name. I believe it's the same sculptor. This time there's no color master or paint master. The other one listed a paint master. They're gone here. I wonder what happened. Did they fire the paint master? Oh, my apologies for the light ring. Everything's so shiny here. But anyways, we've got a nice image of her there on the side, looking pretty good. Once again, this is based off the art of George Kamitani, who is the artist for these games. On the back, she's got a nice, just a nice motif going on, like the front, a little window so you can see her inside there, and more of the leaves falling. And on the side, we get a full figure shot. So apparently this does light up. I'm curious to see how strong that is. Might be cool. On the top is just kind of the same stuff, as you can see. And on the bottom is technical information, so you're welcome to pause that and take a look if you're interested. Okay, so let's open her up and see what we've got. Like with the other one, the inside is just sort of a yellowy color. And she comes with some instructions on how to put together the lantern. And how to just set it up in her hand. There she is, all packaged up. The Momohime was one that had already been opened and just put back in the box, but this one is fresh out of the box, never opened. I like how they have a little window so you can see the face very clearly. That's nice. Okay, so here she is, all opened up. I don't want to lay her on her back because I'm really worried that I'm going to break that hair there. So first, let's just check out the base. Now, this character often shows up where there's shrines, Inari shrines, which in Japan are actually fox shrines. So it makes sense. So I think this is kind of recreating that sort of feeling, like this would be maybe some paths up to the shrine. Maybe that would be, I don't know, a stone wall. That looks more like a castle stone wall or something, but anyways. It's definitely got some nice texturing going on there. You can see all the little bumps in the stones and in the moss. This is a little bit soft, these plants, but not too much. I wouldn't play with them too much. Even got some shading on the back there. Looks really good. Now the other one, the Momohime, her one peg was metal, but I think that's because she was on one foot, so it's more likely to bend. These are just plastic, but this is a more balanced character, I think. If not, maybe a little top heavy. Whew. As for her lantern, it looks really cool. So these little tassels, they just use to clear plastic, but it really does look like little fabric tassels that would hang from the bottom. And then normally these are like a slightly lacquered paper on these lanterns. But they did a really good job recreating that with plastic, actually. From, especially like in hand, in real life, it looks quite convincing. Then you got this nice kind of lacquered top and bottom. So the bottom comes off and you unscrew these to get to the batteries. I didn't know that there was maybe no batteries in here. Hopefully I have some or something, we'll see. And then to turn it on and off, you just kind of twist it To hang it, this little piece just hooks in here, just like that. And then the one that she would hold on to on this end, this hooks into here. So something like that. Looks pretty good. Anyways, we'll peg her in and then we'll take a look at the figure. So she's got a couple holes right there which are going to peg into here, and well, you know what, before I do it, look at that, you can see her underpants. There you go. So this should just peg under here like this. And let's see, 1, 2, squish it on gently. Yep, feels pretty stable, no problem. Okay, let's get the lantern set up. So this black piece just slides into her hand like that, and you give it a little turn just to make sure she's got it somewhat tightly. And the idea is she's supposed to be cradling the other side of this lantern in her hand. So one of these sides, they look almost identical, but I think one is a little bit bigger, a little more open. So I'm going to put that one on the top, like that. And then this goes into here, like that. And we're going to try to adjust this until she's holding it. Okay, I think I got it. So she's supposed to just be holding it a little bit under there while it hangs from there. It's not, even in the example, it's not actually supposed to be perfectly straight or dangling. It's just kind of, she's supporting it. So let's take a look at the figure. In the game, the characters are a bit more squished proportionally, like they're a little bit stockier, I guess, but this one seems to be taller proportions or longer proportions, but still maintaining this look of the art and everything. Starting from the top, as you can see, she's got big fox ears, as she is a kitsune fox woman. Really cool looking ring of hair there. They did a good job on that. Same with the other figure. The texturing on the hair is really nice. Lots of detail there, as you can see. She's got her fuzzy ears, and then she's got a leaf on her head. And in the game there's another fox woman who's got like a green, I think, green leaf on her head, something like that. Some nice shading for that. Looks good. Very subtle because she does have like white gray hair, but as you can see, there's a bit of shading in there, and then in where it would be a little darker. Some shading in there and on the back of her neck. Interestingly enough, she has human ears alongside her fox ears. What's going on there? But it looks like they took the time to even maybe add a bit of shading in there, up in her neck and such. Her face looks quite good. They've got really subtle details there, but it looks nice. Good painting on the lips. They're even a little bit glossy. I don't know if you can see that, but a little gloss as well as the eyes. And then some shading in the eyes and things like that. And her pupils are a bit more animalistic, I guess, to add to the fox effect. Now, obviously, she has some attention-drawing features, aside from the big ears. But they're well done. You know, there's even a gap underneath. Not sure how they put that together, but yeah, there you go. She's a bit top heavy, huh? She's got her obi on there, which is just pretty simple, not too much detailing. On Momohime, she's got a lot of patterning going on all over her clothes, but Kongiku is much more clean and simple, I guess, but she does have a lot of shading. The obi is quite elaborate on the back, the ribbon, the tying for it. You can see the different layers and the way it got folded. Good sculpting on the material, like the fabric looking folds and things like that. Looks nice. And then her kimono, it's got a little bit of print work. So we see more leaves, seems to be her theme. And those run all the way down. And then she's just got some nice shading going on some orange and yellow highlights and shadows. They look quite good. The really long sleeves are quite nice too. I like how that one's straight, but this one gets all folded up. It looks kind of cool. You can kind of see how tight the kimono is here too, but you can still see the shape of the legs that comes through even though she's got them covered up. Then of course she's got this huge foxtail, which is really cool, really well done. It's a big part of the figure. This one's much heavier too, but you can see that's running all along, and lots of shading on there. Looks like they did white or a gray, like a light gray, and then they did brushing of some kind of brownish orangish color on top. Under that she's got a red kimono and just her socks and her geta, tall lady's geta. Nice lacquered effect there. And then, as we saw before, the base, which yeah, she's quite sturdy on it. I'm not worried that she would fall out of that, and it seems to hold her quite well. Just a little note, the tassels here, when I was just removing it and stuff, it bumped down and this popped off, but fear not, if you do have this and that happens, they just plug back in. I think they're designed that way so that if it does fall or something, they don't just snap, but you can just put them back in, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. So as a size comparison to the two, you can see Momohime is a bit shorter, but maybe I can grab a shot from the game, but she is supposed to be shorter in the game, I believe, so it kind of makes sense. I think they're proportionally correct, even though there's quite a difference. Plus, she's leaning down a bit and stuff like that, so I think it does work well. And they look nice together. There's, you know, so colorful, and if you're into that kind of old Japanese look, I think it's a good set. There's other ones too of both of them, like in the hot spring in the onsen. So in the game you can go to the onsen, so you can get both of them having like a towel. It's either Kongiku or maybe the other Kitsune girl, I forget which one has the towel for a statue, but yeah, there are other versions of these figures, I think from the same line, just variations. So I imagine if you had more of them, it'd be a really cool, colorful display. So there you have it. That is my review of Kongiku, the fox girl from Oboro Muramasa, or Muramasa the Demon Blade in English. And if you're curious, I already did a review of Momohime here, the main character from the game. So you can go check that out. I'll leave that linked below or somewhere, I don't know. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and let me know, and I'll do my best to help out. But until then, yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.